Susul.
Hello, and welcome to a very special episode of Under the Plum Bulb, where we sit around the campfire, submitted for the approval of the Midnight Society. That's a trademark for Iron of the Dark. I call this episode Spoopy Bitches! Happy Halloween! We're gonna talk about some sperry things. That's not a word.
Spooky things.
Thank you, because Sperry is a pair of shoes.
Expensive, so it is kind of scary.
Right? Also ridiculously expensive for no reason. Aren't they like boat shoes? For like dude bros?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, but like, why do you want to spend money on shoes that are gonna get wet?
Because you have money to shit on. And I'm not that person. Anywho, so we're gonna talk about some spoopy stuff. This is all coming about for a couple of reasons. One, it's the season to be spoopy. Two, I watched a movie last night and I really wanted to tell y'all about it. So
that's the real reason we're recording.
It's the real reason. I just really wanted to tell y'all about this movie because it raised so many questions in my brain about the stupidity of people in the 70s that I just had to talk to people about this.
Oh no, people in the 70s were stupid.
Obvi.
Why do you think there were so many serial killers?
Obvi. Because this movie was the epitome of this could have been prevented. So we'll get to that. We're gonna talk about some scary things. So if you are of the scary variety, maybe you should listen to this in the daytime, outside with the sun shining in your face, so that you don't worry about the things that go in the night. Ooh. I'm done.
Are you done?
So.
Are you?
Are you even saying spoopy or spooky also, by the way?
Spoopy! I'm saying spoopy.
Isn't it spooky?
It
or am
is.
I wrong?
So there was like, if you were a few years ago, in like they had like, it was Hobby Lobby or
It's
one of
always
those craft
Hobby Lobby.
stores.
Why?
Huh? It was
It's
one of those
always
craft
Hobby
stores,
Lobby.
and they had like a rash of like a rush of like their Halloween decor, but they misspelled spooky and said it was spoopy.
Oh dear
And
lord.
it has never left my brain since then. It's now forever spoopy season because you had one job and you done fucked it up. So, are you ready for this? Are you guys ready to be scared?
Totally ready. I'm so excited. I love being scared. Yeah.
Okay.
As an adult, now I like being scared. As a kid, not so much.
True.
Before we get started, though, I think we should introduce ourselves because this is not your
shit.
normal team.
This is not your normal team. We're an amalgam of peoples.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Vanity. I'm on Team Cowplant.
Hello, it's Marissa. I'm also on Team Cowplant. Never been on a bonus episode before, you guys. I'm really excited. That's my contribution. Sorry. I'm also after work Marissa. So if I say something stupid, just ignore me. It's fine.
Did you say contribution? Because that's my new favorite way to say this word now.
Please don't talk about it. I can't believe I just said that. I like the word came out of my mouth. I was like, are you fucking kidding me or something right now? Anywho, who else is with us?
It's Melly with Team Llama. That's all I have to say about that. I'm sorry, I'm tired. I'm exhausted, and I just want to nap. But I'm here,
I feel you.
ready to get spooky.
Hi guys, it's Allie from Behind the Scenes Queen and from The Wicked Whims, Part 1 and 2. I am back for some spooky shit.
You mean Wicked Whims.
Wicked Whims.
Wicked Whims. 1 and 2. Okay.
I feel like the Turbo Driver keeps updating more, so they may be a 3.
Ooh. I haven't done Wicked Whims the third. Because I haven't put it back in my game since, I think, the fucking Sulani update, so...
Well, now they have a Wonderful Whims.
Oh, yeah, the PG-13 version. Anywho, not this episode, not this train. We're going on track. Alright, so... Last night, my coworker came over, and she was like, "It's October, let's get spoopy, bitch!" And I was like, alright. My niece is visiting. She doesn't listen to the podcast. We don't hold it against her. I hold it against her, but we as a podcast do not hold it against her. I promise. So we watched, like, let's watch a movie. And she wanted, my roommate, my coworker wanted to watch it the other day, but I was like, is this in Spanish? Not because of hatred of movies in Spanish, but I don't have the mental capacity to read right now while I'm watching a movie. So she's like, no, it's not in Spanish, I promise. I'm like, but the name is in Spanish, and therefore I feel like this could be an okie doke. Because The Orphanage got me. The Orphanage I thought was not going to be in another language, and then it just was. So she's like, no, it's going to be great. And I was like, well, then cue it up, Batman, let's go. So, if you want to watch this movie after I tell you every single plot hole about it, it's on HBO Max. So it's called La Llorona. Am I right, Melly?
Yes.
Okay. So, if you want to watch it for yourself, it is about the legend, the Mexican legend of the weeping woman. If you want to watch it, pause, watch it, and then come back, because if you watch it after I talk about it, there's no point. Cool? Cool. See you in a little bit. Welcome back. So, this movie, I have so many questions on them, just on the common sense of everyone involved. So, let's get started. Alright. So, at opening scene, it's this family doing some weird ring around the rosy family, happy-go-lucky, jolly, spinny in the grass field every year. I don't know any family in the world that does this, but maybe they did this back in the day in Mexico where this is set. I don't fucking know. They're also all wearing white. Who wears that much white? Not the point. So, then, cut scene, you see, so the scene, it's a woman, a man, and then two boys of varying ages, under the age of 10, but over the age of 6. And the scene cuts, and the younger of the two boys, he's now in this forest by himself. And I was like, where did everybody go? And he's like, Mama, Mama. No one answers. And he's like, Tomas. I'm assuming that's the older boy. He's like, Tomas, Tomas. And nothing happens. Oh, wait, no, not Tomas. That was the other kid later. Scoochimas. Kid. He's like, brother named, I don't remember. And no one's answering him. So then he, like, runs over to this little creek. That's creek in Texan. And he's like, he's like, his mom holding down his brother in the water. The brother's flailing, the mom's like holding him down. And instead of running like anybody else would do because you see murder afoot, he stares. He's like, what am I eyeballs seeing? And then the brother quits flailing because now he's dead. And the mom looks up at him and she's like, yo, next, bitch. So he's like, yup. No. And then he starts to run, but he can't run fast enough because everyone always falls. So he falls, the mom catches him, and I'm assuming she drowns him because the scene cuts to 1970 something or another. And now it's the 70s. And, we are in Los Angeles. I have never been to California in my life, but it rains so fucking much in this movie. And I thought California didn't get a lot of rain, so I'm very confuddled by all the rain. Allie, our resident Californian, does it rain a lot? Because, I mean, every fucking day it was raining in this movie.
No.
Well, I wasn't alive in the 70s. So...
Neither was I, but I don't think it...
No.
But as of right now, no, it does not. So
I mean,
they may have spent a lot of money on rain machines and thought, hey, we have to use them?
comes up later. There's a reason I'm mentioning the rain, but fuck, it's a lot of rain. So, it comes up and it is Linda Cardellini. I don't think that's her name, but she's been in some stuff in like the 2000s. I forget what it is, but anyway, she has her like 70s mom haircut and she has this massive ass house. And again, I know so much about how expensive California is. This house is fucking huge, and I'm just like, you live in Los Angeles. Okay. So she has 2 kids, a daughter and a son. The daughter's name is Sam. The son's name is something. Let's call him Steve. It's not Steve. I just can't remember. So they're all running late for school. She's like, you gotta hurry up. You're gonna miss the bus. And then they're like, okay. And then they miss the bus anyway because kids. And so she's late for work. She gets to work and her boss is like, oh, hey, I gave some of your cases to this new chick because you have mom responsibilities. And she's like, I'm sorry, my husband died, asshole. I can still handle my caseload.
That is such a 70s burn. Like,
right?
You have responsibilities.
And so it turns out her husband was a cop and he died. So she's a social worker and he was a cop. How do they afford this house? The fuck if I know. It's huge, which also comes into play later. Anyway, so she's...
Secret inheritance.
I mean, from who? So anyway, so she is a white lady, and he was the Hispanic man in this. So these kids are, for all that. Anyway, so he's like, hey, have you heard, what do you know about Patricia? So her boss asked the new girl, what do you know about Patricia? And then Linda Cardellini, Linda's like, bitch, Patricia's my case. I've been working her for 4 years. What you doing with my case? And he's like, I gave your case to her because, mommy issues. And she's like, I can handle it. She won't talk to her anyway. Someone like her. And young girl's like, what do you mean someone like me? And she's like, you ain't got no kids, bitch. And she got kids. And she was like, what the fuck ever? And he was like, I don't give a shit. Someone go find out where her kids are. So he gives it to Linda. Linda goes over to Patricia's house and she's knocking on the door with a little cop escort. And Linda's like, knock, knock, knock. And she opens the door for a little chain on. She's like, what you want, bitch? And she was like, hi, your kids weren't in school for the last few days. Where they be? And she's like, they're safe. Goodbye. Closes the door in her face. And she's like, no, but seriously, I need to see their faces. And she's all like, okay, fine. But only you can come in, not the cop. And so they come in and the house is dark. No one owns a light switch in this movie. The house is dark as fuck. There are candles everywhere. It must have taken you so long to light all these candles. It must have smelled really weird from all the candle lighting too. Because it's just so many candles. Huh?
That's a hazard.
It had to be one false move and your house was going up. So, Patricia goes somewhere in the house, and then Linda goes to being a nosy Rosie, and she goes into a back room, and she sees a door with all of these eyeballs on it, painted, drawn on it, and charcoal, and a padlock on it, and she was like, what the fuck? And, then here comes Patricia, because Linda's being nosy Rosie and trying to open this door. Patricia's like, nope, leave that door closed. And she's like, I'm opening this door. It seems suspect as fuck. So here comes Patricia with some random ass hammer. Where did it come from? I don't know. And she goes and tries to attack Linda. And she's like, no, leave that door closed. Give me one more day. And she was like, bitch, that's a hammer. And then the cop comes in, takes Patricia off of Linda, and while she does that, Linda grabs the key. So the cop takes Patricia to the cop car, for assault. And Linda's opening this door, and there are these 2 little boys in there who look like they haven't slept in 75 years, and there's a blanket on the floor, and they're just locked in this closet. Oh. And she's like, what happened? And they have these little weird Uzi sores on their arm, right? And she's like, ew. I know. And she's like, what happened? Why you're in a closet? And they're like, she did it. And she's like, okay, we're gonna take you to a home now to get a shower and some sleep. And they're like, no, we don't want to go. And she's like, but you're gonna, because you can't live in a closet. So they go to some weird ass mental institution looking fucking group home. Like, it looks like it got straight out of like a Freddy Krueger movie. There is no fucking like light. No one has a light switch. So she's like, hey, what happened to your arm there? That looks pretty gross. And the kids are like, she did it. And she's like, your mom loves you and she's just going through a hard time. It's like, not her. And she's like, well, then who did it? And they're like, she did it. And I'm like, if you don't give this bitch a name. But anyway, just she. So the kids are, so she's like, okay, fine, go to sleep. Bye-bye. So then that at night, the creepy night watchman in this horrible place that they're in opens the door and like they're asleep in the beds, and he's like, okay, fine. And then all the lights go out, and then the older brother is at the door, and the younger brother is like, Tomas, this is Tomas now. He's like, come back, bruv. And he's like not saying anything, and he's walking towards something, and then they're walking in this creepy ass hallway with like the blinky lights. And I'm like, again, why none of these lights work? So, and it's raining outside too. This is incident of rain number 1. So it's raining outside, all this is happening, and then like you see in the little like circle mirror on the ceiling a figure coming. And she's in all white with a little like veil over her face, and the older boy points to her. The little boy turns around and turns back around again. His brother's gone. He's like, Tomas, Tomas, then turns back around, and La Llorona grabs him and he screams. End scene. So,
Oh wow.
I know.
For a second, I thought that was the end of the movie. I was like, what?
That's the whole thing. So, okay. Then, the dude from Save the Last Dance, the black guy from Save the Last Dance, comes to Linda's door. His name is
that
Sean.
guy?
Yeah, I don't know his name in the movie because again, Cooper. His name's Cooper in the movie.
Oh yeah, Cooper.
So, Cooper comes to the door and he's like, hey, sorry. No, he doesn't. Linda gets a phone call saying, hey, those boys are dead. Why did they call her? I have no fucking clue. Is she a cop? No. Is she a detective of some sort? No. Does she have any training to look at dead bodies of drowned children? Not in the slightest. But they call her anyway, and instead of leaving her sleeping ass kids in this massive ass house, she wakes them up and puts them in the car, and they go down to a fucking underpass in like out of Greece in fucking dead of night to look at some dead bodies. Why did you bring your kids? The fuck if I know. So she brings her kids. So she's all sitting there and she goes over and looks at the dead bodies. She's like, oh my god, they're dead. And I'm like, they said that. It is white sheep. Of course they're dead. Why are you shocked? And they're like, the mom had an alibi. She was in church with some church people, but we still think she has a issue. She did something. And I'm like, what did she do? Throw them into the underpass? Like, be better. Do better. And then so little boy's in the car, and he's like obsessed with being a cop like his dad or something. I don't know. He's stupid. He's too old for what he's about to do, okay? Just imagine that he's too fucking old for this. He's at minimum, 11. So his mom said, stay in the car. And what does he do? Get out of the car. His sister's still sleeping in the backseat. He gets out of the car and goes over to the little chain link fence and looks at the dead bodies on the ground covered in the sheets. I'm like, why do you want to see the dead bodies? Why do you want to see dead children? I didn't want to see dead children at 11, but to each their own. So then after that,
cat.
Seriously. So then he hears weeping, like some crying from an alleyway next to him.
What?
Okay. This is Los Angeles, under a fucking overpass, I mean, next to some like a body of water of some sort, and there's a dark ass, dank ass alley, and you hear somebody crying in it, and you go towards it. Who the fuck does that? That's how you get stuck with a needle, or stabbed in the face, or anything stupid. So then he goes over towards it, and he sees the weeping dress with the veil lady, and I'm like, oh man, here she go. And she's all weepy, and he like gets closer, and then she has that weird broken neck thing they do in movies. And instead of running, he just stands there. I would have ran. But, again, I'm not an 11-year-old boy in the 70s. So then, she, like, whips her little veil off, and you see her gross-ass, bleeding eyeball face, and he's all like, ah! But then too late, because she grabs him with her hand and sizzles his arm meat with her fingers. She's got, like, acid fingers or something. The fuck? Again. I don't know. So then he tries to run back to the car. He gets back into the car, he's all breathing heavy, and his sister wakes up. She's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And he's like, nothing. Everything's fine. And then he's sitting in the car, looks at the window, and there she is, like, hi! And he screams, and she's like, what the fuck? And he's like, you didn't see that? She was like, no. And so then La Llorona starts fucking opening the manual windows, because it's the 70s. There's no automatic lock, like, windows. So she's like she's hand cranking these windows down, and he's like trying to save it or whatever, because he doesn't want to get eaten by her. And then the mom comes and they go home and everything's fine. Do you think this child shows his mom his Uzi arm wound? He doesn't.
Probably not.
He just puts his shirt over it and calls it a day, and she doesn't ask questions. She's just like, whatever.
Of course not.
So now he's been marked by the weeping lady. Whatever. So Linda goes to talk to Patricia in the jail, and she's like, hi, why'd you kill your kids? And she's like, why'd you kill my kids? I told you to let me keep them in that closet. I told you that everything was fine. I told you to listen to me, and you didn't. You took my kids out of the thing, and then they died. I hate you. I hate you. I hate you. I hope you die. And she's like, wow, this is intense, ma'am. I didn't kill your kids. And she's like, you did. You fucking killed them. I hate you. She's like, I hope you get your comeuppance. And she was like, sure. So then she scoots on out of the police station. And then she goes home, and then her daughter apparently can't bathe by herself. So her mom, like, she bathes, and then, like, when she's ready to rinse, her mom comes in and helps her wash her hair or something. I don't know. I took showers by myself at 8 years old, but again, maybe other people didn't. So that's the ritual. Like, she goes, I'm done, and mom comes in and helps her rinse her hair, and then she goes rinsing and, like, dunks her head into the water. Fast forward until later. The daughter's outside playing, and they have this, like, moldy ass. They have a big ass pool in their backyard, but they obviously don't have a pool boy or a pool cleaning situation, because it's, like, green as fuck and full of water, and it's been raining all the time. So I'm like, just drain it. But anyway, so the daughter's outside playing or something, and she hears somebody crying. It's daylight, so she walks over towards the fucking fence and doesn't see anything. So she walks back. Then her umbrella keeps, like, getting, like, knocked out of her hand. After the second time this happened, I totally would have not said fuck it, fuck the umbrella. But no, she doesn't do that. She's chasing it, and then it gets knocked into, like, the pool by a gust of wind. Huh?
Leave it alone. I said leave it alone.
But she didn't.
Worth it.
But she
Leave it
didn't.
alone.
She goes over to grab this fucking umbrella, and then here comes La Llorona with her little fucking acid hands, and she grabs the girl's arm again. And so now the girl has the mark of the fucking weeping lady on her arm. Does she tell her mom? Nope.
No.
No one tells anyone. So then Linda goes to the church where they're having a little memorial service for the two boys, and she's standing there, and then, watching this guy sage these people, and then here comes, super helpful priest man. He comes over and he's like, oh, he's saging them, getting rid of all of their, bad juju or something. And she's like, do you believe in that? And he was like, I believe in what they believe. And I was like, that's a convoluted answer. And then she's like, do you know anything?
The pastors would say that, but okay.
I got nothing. And then, so while Patricia was yelling at her in the fucking room, she mentioned the name of La Llorona. So then she's like, do you know anything about La Llorona, to the priest? And he gets all, like, stiff, and he's like, well, come into the sanctuary and let me tell you about it. He tells her the story. So the whole story behind her, I will save that for Melly to tell. I'll tell her saved the story. But he tells the story, and she's all like, oh, okay, cool beans. Great. That sounds made up. I'm gonna go about my business. So then Like, the little girl almost gets drowned in the fucking bathtub by La Llorona, and then finally the mom sees their little wounds on their arms, fucking finally, and is like, oh, that looks dangerous. And then the Cooper guy, her cop friend, gives her the case files for the dead children for reasons I don't know, and she sees that they have the same mark, and she's like, oh no. So she goes back to the church, and she's like, hey, priest guy, help me get rid of this entity in my home. And he was like, I'd have to get permission from, like, the powers that be, because, you know, we just don't just do things willy-nilly. And she was like, okay, say what? He was like, yeah, I can't do that for you. He was like, a couple of weeks. And she's like, a couple of weeks? My kids can't sleep because this bitch is fucking terrorizing them and trying to drag them out of the house. He's like, sounds like a personal problem. So maybe you should go to talk to that guy you saw that was saging people. He used to be a priest, but then he was like, y'all priest ways are weird, so I'm gonna leave the church, but I'm still gonna be a priest, but a priest of science. And she was like, okay. So he was like, he's like, well, do you believe in the whole thing? And he was like, well, turns out I didn't until a few years ago when I came in contact with dun 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 a doll. It's the priest from Annabelle. What?
No.
Nope, don't do dolls. Nope.
So that's why he was like, I believe, but I still can't help you because I got bosses. And she's like, you a dick. And he was like, I know. And then so she leaves, and then she has to go contact old dude, because now the kids can't sleep. Like, they tried to sleep, and then she came in, tried to drown them, tried to trap them in rooms. Like, his house is massive, and she's like locking doors and shit. She locked Linda in her room and was like trying to get the kids to get. It was just enough. It was insane. So the next day they go to the Santeria guy's shop, and she's all like, have you ever heard of La Llorona? And he was like, yeah. And she was like, can you help me? He was like, no, I don't do that. And then she's like, fine, okay. And then the little girl is like, help us, mister, please, look at my arm skin. And he's all like, because you asked me, with your doe eyes and your curly hair and your weepy arm skin, I'm gonna help you. So they go to the house. He does some spinny egg tricks. You know, the egg he puts the egg all over the house to test for bad spirits. He's like, if I crack it and it bleeds, then the more blood it is, the more bad juju you have. And she's like, gotcha. And then he cracks it, and it doesn't even bleed. It's some black ooze. And she was like, that's not even blood, bro. He's like, I can see that. And then she's like, what did you do? Some magic trick? I saw that on Carson last night, some magic trick. And he was like, bitch, you still don't believe in this? Your kids were almost sucked out of your house by an entity, but you don't believe in my egg? And then the eggs, then he had 3 eggs on the table and started to spin, blah, 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 blah. And she was like, maybe you're not lying. And he was like, you think? And she's like, well, can you help me? He was like, sure. And they do some, like, a whole bunch of different things to kind of figure out what's going on. He ends up not telling them what he's doing, but he's using the little boy as bait to try to, like, lure the spirit in. And she's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You almost got my kid killed. And he was like, actually, your kid almost got himself killed. But we good now. We lured her out of the house. Now we can trap her outside of the house by putting these crushed up, there's trees that were in that part of Mexico where the lady killed her kids. They were like called the bleeding something trees. I don't know. And the crushed up bark from them, you put it in all the entryways of the doors, and she can't cross it. Great. They were Gucci. He's like, you should be fine as long as you don't break the seal. You're good. But the fucking daughter has this ugly ass, janky ass, like, doll that has yarn for hair or something. It is not just like it's expensive. It's a piece of, like, I could have made it in my little home ec class in, like, the 10th grade. It's that stupid. But she's like, not my doll Misty. Where's Misty? I'm like, who names their doll Misty? What is she, a stripper? But there's Misty for you. So she's like, and Misty's right outside the door because La Llorona is smart and knew that that's what was going to happen. So the stupid daughter is trying to get Misty without breaking the line because, again, she's dumb. So she's trying to reach her arm over the threshold and grab this doll, but it's like just out of reach. And then she finally kind of gets it, and the mom's like, what are you doing? And she's like, I got Misty and I didn't break the line. But but then she slips and then she breaks the line, and then La Llorona tries to grab her, and like she fucking like just drags her through the house, and it's actually kind of comical and a little bit scary all at the same time. Anyway, wrap it all up. They ended up like stabbing her with a cross made of the that wood, the bark, and then she dies. Or does she? Because every movie has that weird part where like you look at the little puddle of water because it never stops raining in Los Angeles, and you kind of see a shadow. Is she dead? We don't know. And that's La Llorona.
Yay! Great story.
That was really intense. Like,
You're welcome.
wow. I feel like I was there the whole time. That was amazing.
So this, the worst part though. Oh, one part that was actually pretty comical. So they're all in the house and everything is fine, and then somebody opens the door and they think it's La Llorona, and I'm like, she's using doorknobs now, and it's not. It's fucking Patricia, and she was like, I prayed to La Llorona after my kids died, not to God, but to her. And I told her that if she brings my boys back, I will give her your children. And I was like, that's a horrible trade. You're a dick. Also, your kids are drowned. They're in a funeral home right now. They can't come back. Do you not know how physics work? So anyway, so she's in the house with a fucking gun trying to drag these children out of the house. And the former priest guy is like, tries to tackle her and be Captain Save-A-Ho, but then she shoots him in the arm. Okay? And then she shoves Linda down in the basement and locks the basement door. And I try to get these kids out of the house. And then it's just a bunch of ridiculousness, okay? Like the kids run away and run up to the attic, and then that's how the movie ends. But the movie ended, and one, where are your neighbors? She shot a man in that house and nobody called the cops. The cops were never called because old dude leaves the house. The former priest guy is getting into a cab, not an ambulance, but a cab. He has been thrown against the ceiling of this house, and then he's also been shot in the shoulder. He was bleeding his own blood, but nobody called the ambulance? This woman tried to murder your children by sacrificing them to a vengeful spirit, and you just let her walk out of your home because you felt bad because her kids are dead? Then, as he's getting into the cab, the most mind-boggling part of this whole thing is he's got the bandage on top of his shirt. He's still wearing his black button-up, and the bandage is on top of the What are you doing?
Oh my god.
That was all.
Someone missed that.
It was so stupid. I was so confused. The movie had great jump scares. The movie was good. I feel like the real story might be better than what the movie told me. Am I right, Melly?
Sure.
Like the real legend of it. Is it? I mean, I want you to tell me what the real legend is, and I'll tell you what they said in the movie, and see if they compare and contrast.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So
that was the movie. Go ahead.
The Mexican version, because there are multiple versions, because you know how white people be, they like taking shit from us.
I like the chupacabra.
Yeah, we don't talk about the chupacabra.
Okay, go ahead though.
So this is based on a woman named Maria. She marries a rich man who they then go and have 2 kids. One day Maria finds her husband with another woman and she gets mad about it. So she takes the children and then she goes and drowns them. But as she's drowning them, she immediately regrets it and tries to save the kids, but she can't.
Because you drowned them. I also, but he said that too in the movie, and I was like, logic, bro. You drowned 2 kids before you thought, oh, this was a bad idea. You did it twice. Sorry, go on.
So after she can't save them, she drowns herself, but you can't drown yourself. So she has to find a ulterior way to kill herself. and she kills herself, but she is stuck in between the afterlife and I guess restfully dying because you killed your fucking kid, so no shit you're not gonna restfully die.
Like a fucking psycho. Why didn't you kill him? If you killed him, I would have been like, all right, girl, I get you. Even if you killed her, I'd be like, I mean, it wasn't really her fault, but again, I get you. But what did your kids do?
I know.
Logic. Okay, go ahead.
Well, in another version, they're saying that she killed the kids because he was threatening to take the kids away from her. So it was more of a, if I can't have them, you can't have them either kind of thing.
Okay, that makes more sense.
In the movie, the priest explains it. It's very similar, but he said that she was the most beautiful woman in that small Mexican town, or south of Mexico, wherever it was. Small. She was, and then she meets a guy comes in, and she's like, they get married. They're so happy. They have 2 children. Everything is blissful and great. But she catches him cheating with a younger, more beautiful woman. And then she's all like, oh, well, okay, well, I'm gonna take what you love the most, your fucking kids. And then she drowns him. Then immediately after, she's like, oh shit, what did I do? And then she drowns herself. And then it's supposed to be a story that's supposed to tell, you pass down to, family and to kids, saying like, if you don't mind your elders, that she's gonna get you. Which I don't know how that correlates to what she did, but sure.
Well, that's mostly used to threaten kids to stay the fuck home at night, because little Mexican kids will be out in the streets like at nighttime. And it said that if you are out past a certain time, you can hear her, and as she gets closer, you can actually see her wandering the streets, calling for her kids. There have been like actual pictures of people that have seen her in the swamp where she killed her kids. And yeah.
Does she grab people and give them oozy skin like she did in the movies?
No. No, she doesn't actually touch anyone. It's just her roaming and crying and...
So she's just annoying.
Basically. But she's praised in Mexico. Like, she has statues of her. They are days dedicated to her.
Days dedicated to a woman that killed her kids?
Yeah, and like they'll reenact everything like in a theater. And
the murder? They reenact the murder?
Yeah, she has a statue in one of the cities in Mexico. So
okay. I mean, we have statues of fucking slave owners, so I can't even say much. Go ahead.
Truth.
Yeah, but that's it. At night, you can just hear the crying and the wailing and all that shit.
I mean, trying to sleep, man. Here she's just fucking crying in your ear holes. See, I think that'd be more annoying than her drowning me. Just drown me, it's fine. But can you stop crying?
Can you stop crying?
Drown me.
I mean, at that point, I would just want you to drown me. Just go ahead, because this is annoying. Your wailing tears are too much for me.
So, but what about that wood, Melly? Is that part of the story as well? They have to put like that special branches in your house?
Since it's in a swamp, the trees that are surrounding are weeping willows. I don't know the significance between stabbing her with the weeping willows, but those are the trees that are...
That's not... He called them some kind of like, I don't know, burning tree, or it was all red. It's red because it's bloody or burning or bloody burns or something. I don't fucking know. It was some kind of special tree that grew next to that place that she murdered her children. But... Because I think of Weeping Willows, I think of Pocahontas and was it Mother Willow? And I feel like she's not trying to stab anybody. I think Grandmother Willow would not have killed Pocahontas or any of her children, so let's not
assume she would have killed the other people, though.
Right?
To protect
Pocahontas. She would have for sure killed, like, Jon
everybody
Smith,
else.
let's be real.
I know she whipped some ass there.
But, I do love, like, local or cultural, like, stories. I think they're so cool. Like, do we have any other local or cultural like ghost stories? Because we have a bridge here in Texas, a haunted bridge in Texas.
Ooh.
But yeah, it's cool. It's not. I mean, you're supposed to, it's in like It's actually like really close to where I live. It's called the Old Alton Bridge. And I don't know why you would try to drive your car over it, because it looks like you would be haunting it later because you died. But I mean, sure. it just seems stupid. But it's locals warn that if you cross the bridge at night without your headlights on, you will be met on the other side by the Goat Man.
Oh goodness.
Yeah, it's a goat.
That sounds like a fucking cop made that up. If you drive without your headlights on, the goat's gonna come get you. Woo! Like, fuck that. Like, that's some made up bullshit.
I mean, it's okay. So the story behind it is actually pretty depressing, but it's Texas, so it makes sense. Okay, so the legend tells of a black goat farmer who moved his family to a residence just north of the bridge in Denton County in Texas. A few years later, Oscar Washburn was known as a dependable and honest businessman, and North Texans endearingly began to call him the Goat Man, which, I'm sorry, that's not endearment, that is rude. But the success of a black man was still unwelcome to many, and the Klansmen and the local government turned to violence after he displayed a sign on the bridge saying "This way to Goatman's," Goatman's Farm. So, in August of 1938, the Klansmen crossed the bridge and kidnapped him from his family, and they hung him on a noose on the bridge. After securing it around his neck, they threw him over the side. When they looked down to see if he had died, the noose was empty. In a panic, they returned to his family home and slaughtered his wife and children. You're welcome. Oh. So now he haunts the bridge.
Fuck? That is so fucked up.
He had to haunt the bridge.
I would too. I hope him, the kids, and his wife are just like, fuck you guys, all on that bridge. But it has been featured on Ghost Adventures and BuzzFeed's Unsolved Supernatural.
Ooh. Oh my god, I totally watched that episode. But they were saying like animals fell into it all the time.
It's literally like 20 minutes from me. And will I go to that bridge? No. Wanna know why? Because I don't fuck with fucking bridges.
For science.
Haunted by I don't fuck with Klans bridges. I don't plan I'm still in Texas, bro. Even though Denton is liberal as fuck, it has UNT in it, but still not happening. So what else, guys? Any other like local lore or cultural boogeyman stories? Give me the spooks.
Well,
give me the spooks.
Here in California, I live up in the Bay Area. So we have the Winchester Mystery House, and you guys heard a little bit about it.
It's amazing. I can't wait for you to tell this story. It's so cool.
Wait, is that the one with the house that has all the rooms that don't go anywhere?
Yes.
Mm-hmm, yep.
Oh, okay, yeah. That lady was crazy. Proceed on.
Yeah. Okay. So the Winchester Mystery House is in San Jose, California. It was the residence of Sarah Winchester, who is the widow of the big Winchester rifle firearms, so she just had a boatload of fucking money. After her husband died in 1881, and unfortunately her infant daughter also died, she went and saw a medium out in Boston who said that she needed to head west and build a giant house to keep the ghosts of the souls that were killed by the Winchester rifles.
Yeah, she has to go haunt the ghosts? Is that what
No, not hunt.
To hide.
She wants to go like she has to like build a house to trick the ghosts that are haunting her from the rifles.
Ma'am, you need a nap. And maybe what year is this? Some laudanum? Just go lay down. This seems stupid. Not the story, but that whole thing seems like really okay.
Yeah.
But like, imagine being responsible for so many deaths. Like that would be really.
She didn't make them. She was born into the family. You can't change that life.
She was married into it.
Yeah, she married into it.
That's even better.
No, it's worse because she chose it. I don't know, and like she has all that money.
I don't know. She got 50% of the ownership of the company after he died, so she was not set.
She was responsible for it. Like that's crazy. That would be that would be a lot to process. Like, especially because they didn't have, like, guns like that before. You know what I mean? Like, they didn't have that kind of weaponry before. So, like, just, I don't know. I totally feel this chick. Like, that would be very overwhelming.
So, the construction started in 18...
that money, though.
Oh, she had, what did it say? Basically, from her 50% ownership, she basically got roughly $1,000 per day back in 1881. That turns into $26,000 in today's money.
Look, I'll take $1,000 a day in today's money. Like, I won't be greedy and try to convert it to today's monies. I'll just take $1,000 a day. Like, I don't know what I would do with it. I would just I would just put it on my floor and roll in it in ones.
Oh my god.
Rolling it with what? I did that. It's not fun. I had a bunch of wines that I was serving, and I was like, ooh, and I spread them out, and I was like, yeah, sounds great as I thought. Just saying, okay, side note, not part of the story. So.
That's good to know.
Construction started in 1886, and it basically continued up until her death in 1922. So she kept adding on rooms, without any permits. I'm pretty sure about that.
Yeah.
She was just like, let's put a window here, put this room here, just to trick the ghosts. So this mansion.
Ghosts don't open doors.
They go through.
Like, they don't have hands to turn a knob.
Yeah, like, there's literally, like, there's just, like, a little staircase that leads up to a door, and the door just opens to, like, a brick wall. Like, there's so much weird shit in that house.
I want to go.
This house has roughly 161 rooms, 40 bedrooms, 2 ballrooms, one that is completed, one is not. It has about 47 fireplaces, over 10,000 panes of glass. It has 17 chimneys, 2 basement levels, 3 elevators. It used to be on about 162 acres at one point. Now they've sold some stuff off, so now it's only 4.5 acres, but that's a lot. It's a lot of property, yo.
Yeah, that's still a lot.
So I just have this thought process. Like, in my head, it looks like one of those, like, wood-ass, rickety houses that you keep adding, like, more wood onto. Like, one weird, like, wood room, like, with wood paneling and, like, wood floor and, like, I don't know why that's what I had. It's on, like, stilts, you know? She keeps adding more weird stilted rooms. That's what it looks like in my head. It's not what it looks like in real life, but my head is conjuring this up.
Are you thinking, like, Howl's Moving Castle vibe?
I'm literally thinking, like, house on stilts, but not moving. Like, I don't know. I don't know what I'm thinking in my head, but it's like wooden houses, wooden roofs.
It's like when I make.
It's like when I make houses in The Sims. I just plop down one of those creative rooms.
Oh, you start building cubes on top of cubes.
That's what I feel like in my head it looks like, but you just keep adding them in different levels around the house.
No, it
There's lots
sense.
Of creative rooms everywhere.
Yeah. No, on the outside it's like just looks like a giant fucking, I don't know, Victorian house or something.
It's like, yeah, it's like a giant Victorian looking house. Yeah.
Isn't it like a bright ass yellow color too?
I think, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's like yellow and like
yeah, it's yellow with a red brownish like rooftop.
Mm-mm.
And like all the inside is made of like redwood wood.
Can I sleep there? Is it like a hotel?
No, they just started doing overnights before COVID.
Oh.
Of course.
Thanks.
I've always wanted to stay in a haunted like B&B or something like that, you know.
I wouldn't be able
sleep.
to stay at that one house from The Haunting in Connecticut. You used to be able to stay, but apparently you can't anymore.
Because of the bleeding walls?
No, because they just don't want to.
I think it's because of bleeding walls. But I would totally, I want to stay in a haunted home. We should do that. We should have like a Under the Plum Bob meetup in a haunted Airbnb.
Oh my god.
Home with demons.
There's a hotel.
The hotel in Colorado. that was The Shining was based off of? Who's the
I don't do
Yeah.
little creepy children, so I don't want to stay in that hotel. I'd rather have
Well,
full
no,
ass
that
grown.
hotel isn't about children. It was just
No. But in The Shining, those little twins, I would rather have a full adult haunt me than a tiny child.
There's the Hotel Roosevelt in Hollywood that's haunted by like Marilyn Monroe supposedly, and who's else?
A lot of people. That one.
I don't want to be haunted by someone who looks better than me, even in death. I need you to be ghastly and scary, not offensively pretty and curvy. I don't want to feel inadequate while I'm being scared.
You're like more scared of how beautiful she is than actually her.
I'm more scared of me comparing ourselves to. I'm like, look at that. I know. I don't want that.
Fair. Totally.
Fair.
I mean, like, really. That's fair. Like, come on. We're girls here.
I guess.
Like,
true.
That's
true.
it.
Do you guys go to haunted houses?
Yes.
I do.
Because I really want to. I just was trying to figure out if they were open because of COVID, and apparently two are open in my area, and I am pumped. But if I have to wear a mask the whole time, I'm probably gonna pass.
You're gonna die.
Out.
You are definitely gonna have to wear a mask the whole time.
I'm
You're
gonna
pass
the fuck out.
Yeah, but
I'm not gonna.
Weird people around you.
Jesus.
Yeah,
well, I'm gonna go through people because I'm a crybaby tit ass, and I love to be scared, but I also don't love to be scared. So I want to clutch the person in front of me and put my face in their arms because when I was a child, my dad left me in a haunted house on purpose.
Oh no!
No.
Yeah. So the army, his unit was running a haunted house, and I'm definitely afraid of Freddy Krueger. It's been because my dad made me watch it too young. He scares the fuck out of me, always has. Okay, and Candyman, but those two things. So anyway, my dad and I remember, I will never forget it. I had to have been like 8, and I remember he was wearing this like blue, like light blue, like sweater because it's the 90s, and I'm holding on to his sweater. And we're walking through the haunted house, and I'm scared. But I'm like, it's cool because my dad's here. And then he's like, I gotta tie my shoe, let go of my sweater really quick. And I'm like, okay. And I'm like standing there, and I'm not looking at him, kind of like looking around because we're in like a room there's nothing in it, kind of that's gonna pop out at me, whatever. So I'm just looking around, and he does some weird like body roll out the side of the tent, and he leaves me in there because the next room was the Freddy room.
Oh.
And I walked in that room because I didn't know how to get out. And I walked in that room thinking maybe he went forward. And Freddy came out because it was like the furnace and came on or whatever. And they're like, and I knew what that meant. And I like immediately started to cry. And then Freddy came over to me and like I bawled. Like I curled into the fetal position and I started bawling and I was screaming and I was like I don't want to be killed by Freddy. And looking back on it now, the guy that was dressed as Freddy had to be in his 20s. Now you have a small 8-year-old girl in the fetal position, rocking like shaking back and forth on the floor, and so he comes up and he's like, it's okay, but he's coming at me as Freddy, shaking his glovey hand, trying to tell me it's okay, and I'm like, oh my god, this is worse.
Oh my god.
So, and then from the other side, here comes like, I forgot who it was, I think it was maybe Jason, I don't know, these guys are trying to come and help me because I wouldn't get up. And because I'm so scared, and finally he pulls the mask off, and I'm just like, and I scream because now he lost his head, and I'm just like, oh my god! And then he like, but then somebody comes in, like picks me up and takes me outside, and my dad is laughing because he has no idea what happened on the inside. He thinks it's funny that I got left in there, and he sees me, and he sees the guys that are with me, and he's like, don't tell your mom.
Oh my god.
I'll never forget it.
Don't tell your mother.
I will never forget that entire event as long as I live because that shit scarred Now when I go to haunted houses, I will clutch the person in front of me and you will not leave me.
I would be so fucking mad if that happened to me. I would never forgive my dad. Like, that is so fucked up.
have to also remember, like, okay, so when I was 8, my dad was like my age right now. He was in his early 30s.
Oh, so he's like a
He
kid.
probably thought it was fucking hilarious
He
until
probably
he
did thought it was
saw
hilarious.
the ramifications of his actions.
Well, and you know what I bet? I bet he thought you would know to go back and to not go in further into the haunted house. So I wonder if that's why he thought it would
No,
be funny.
I think he
he
left
thought
me
you
where he
just-
left me because he thought I would go forward and see Freddy. He knew I was scared of Freddy, but I don't think he
Oh.
realized how scared I was.
How her
Yeah,
reaction
probably
would
not.
be.
Yeah. He
And
probably thought you would just run out like
I
screaming.
ran
or
out
whatever,
screaming
and-
like
yeah.
a normal person would do instead of curling into the fetal position and almost pissing herself. You know, overreactions.
That's so fucked.
I laugh about it now as an adult, but as a child,
That's fine.
it was not the greatest. This is why my dad had no sons, man. Okay,
Oh my god.
Not he
Your
had me and my
brothers would
sister.
be wild.
He had
Your
me and my
brothers
sister.
would be wild.
He had no sons. He did not know what to do with himself.
He's just like girls. Brain does not compute. Girls. Up, up, up.
He's like, this is fine, right? And my mom's like, no, it's not fine.
They're
It's
girls.
not fine.
They're little girls. You can't do that shit.
Okay, more spoopy stories.
Is it my turn? Ooh.
Whomever wants to go.
Okay. So, this is a story where Marissa lived in a haunted house from like 2006 to 2008, I think. So I was in junior high.
This was okay. This is what I'm saying. Was this like a conscious choice? Like you couldn't leave, like, but you were a child, so no, you couldn't.
She said
I
she
mean,
was in junior
No,
high.
I was in junior
well, okay,
high.
yeah.
So.
Once you got to that part, I was like, because you definitely didn't lead with that foot. So I was just like, you stayed in there for
I'm
2
sorry.
years, and it's haunted.
Yeah, it was super
Marissa,
haunted.
you are more Mayo sapien than I thought you were, because I would have scooted the fuck out.
Yeah, no, like I was always at other people's houses because I knew it was haunted before anyone else. Anyway, so let me preface this by saying, never believed in ghosts, never believed in any of that shit. To this day, I still don't think I believe in ghosts, but there was something fucked about that house. So basically,
Are you gonna be like Linda and fucking La Llorona? And okay, I know my kids have a fucking have gross acid arm, but I don't really believe in this, ma'am.
I mean, well, okay, we never had acid arms. Let's just be real. And let me just tell you. Okay, so we moved. Whoop, here I go. Sorry, it kind of fell off the chair there. Okay, so we were living in a smaller house, but my sorry, we were living in a smaller house. My grandma died in 2006. Very sad. So my grandpa had to come live with us. So obviously we had to get a bigger house. Now let me preface this by saying, I was raised in San Diego. So this neighborhood, it was in Rancho Bernardo. If you know the area, it is a fucking sleepy little town in San Diego, suburbs. The house was built like in the fucking 80s or whatever. It's not like an old haunted area. It's just like a
Does it have horses?
Does it have horses?
Yeah, because I've been to a part in San Diego, it's
Oh.
just horses. Like,
Yeah.
people walk on the street with their fucking horses, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
okay. Wrong part of
Uh-huh.
California, I'm in.
Poway, Ramona area. Yep, I've lived there. And they have like little crossing walks, but the button's really high
For the
person
horses.
on the horse.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They have
that's a thing.
That's what people think Texas is like, and it's not. We don't
It's
have
not.
crosswalks for horses.
That's
Like,
Yeah,
California
live
for
in
you.
fucking San
not
Diego.
Texas.
Isn't that funny? I guess not San Diego, the city, but a suburb of it. Anyway, okay, so we live in Rancho Bernardo. Everything's fine. So, the weird thing starts. So we move in, and we were just renting, and the owner says, "Oh, hey, right before I moved out, to fix the place up to rent it, I found this opened space up on the second floor. Let me show you it." So we go up there and we look at it, and it's just, it's just like an alcove of the roof, basically. So you open up the little door, and the ceiling slants down to the ceiling, or down to the floor. It's just maybe 3 feet by 9 feet. You know what I mean? It's just this weird little room. And he turns to me and goes, "Oh, maybe this can be like your little playroom." And I just was like, first of all, sir, I'm like 13. I am a grown adult. And so we were all kind of like,
what am I playing with my dollies in here?
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
I don't remember how old I was in
Slow
2006.
your roll,
but
bruh.
I was like 13, 12, 13, I don't know. So I was like insulted by that. That's why I still remember it to this day, because I'm like, excuse you, sir. So I was like, whatever. So we just had some stuff in there, but not really. I think we just put a bunch of old, like, attic stuff in there. So on the very first night we stayed in there, at the house, we heard what sounded like footsteps on the stairs. That had always been that way the second we moved in. And we always just thought it was because there was a pantry under the stairs, so we thought maybe there was like some kind of draft, but it always without fail sounded like someone was walking up the stairs. It was so bad. It got so bad at one point that my parents kept thinking that my brother was sneaking out and coming back in. And so they kept yelling at him. They would wake up and they'd wake him up out of his room and be like, "Stop pretending to sleep. We just heard you on the stairs." He's like, "No, I've been here the whole time."
And you still stayed.
Hold on. That's when it had escalated. So it started with those little things. So like, okay, nobody really thought about it. And the weird thing with this house, so it was mostly one story, but the second floor was all open. So you literally walked in the front door and you could see the entire upstairs, It was just like a half wall, all open. You could see every door. And there was a bathroom at the top of the stairs, my room, my sister's room, and then my brother's room at the end of the hall. And so, but again, you can see all of this, and there's tons of windows. And so after we lived there a couple of months, we noticed the doors were always open upstairs. Like, it didn't matter if we had all shut the doors. At some point during the day, they were going to be opened. And then, as things kind of progressed more, the doors would slam a lot too. And even if we would walk over and look at them, they would still be open, but we'd hear them slamming. And it's all open, you know what I mean? It's not closed off areas, so we could hear it very clearly. So my parents were always like, "Oh, stop opening the windows up there. There's some weird wind or whatever." But didn't matter. Windows would be shut. We'd still hear that. So,
and they keep blaming it on y'all.
Yeah, and you're now getting a clear understanding of my childhood. Doesn't matter what the fuck's going on, it's my fault. That's not even my childhood, that's right now too. But yeah.
I just don't understand. Like,
yeah, no, but again, like, it's not like we had a lot of money. We got our, we were lucky to find a place to rent in San Diego that could house me, my brother, my grandpa, because my grandpa had a room downstairs. My sister actually ended up having her baby and coming and living with us. So we needed a big house, and so we're kind of just like staying.
Fuck the ghost, it's fine. Just yeah,
exactly. We need
the haunting never hurt anybody.
Cheap rent. Yeah, cheap rent, haunted. We'll stay. So around this point, my brother had met my sister-in-law and they were dating. They're married now, but they were just newly dating. And they decided it would be so fun to get into watching ghost hunters and paranormal stuff. And we had this pastor at the church we all went to who did what is it called, exorcisms, and he did went to different parts of the countries and learned about demon stuff and haunted stuff and everything. So he knew a lot, so they were always talking to him, and it was just kind of this creepy stuff. They were always talking about ghosts and haunted and demons, and so that wasn't great. It was kind of creepy. I didn't like hearing about that. But then they started watching ghost hunters a lot, and so when they started watching ghost hunters a lot, that's when more weird stuff started happening. That's when the stair stuff started getting louder, the windows started getting louder. And then this is very weird and specific, but the computer, I remember, so we had speakers for our computer, and then sometimes we would wear headphones too. And every time you turned on the computer speakers made this horrible, kind of staticky, screeching noise. And we got so many different computer speakers, and my dad and my brother both build computers, so they obviously would take apart the computer, put it back together with new speakers, and it still made this horrible noise. So it got so annoying that we just always kept headphones in the computer speakers, and we did that for a year, and we just stopped talking about it. Even though it was making this horrible noise, just stopped talking about it. Didn't
as
headphones were fine. Yeah,
Fuck it.
That fixed the problem.
The walls are bleeding, that's fine.
I said everything's fine.
Yeah. Another weird thing, so the bathroom upstairs, that's the one I used, the toilet specifically, the plumbing was attached to the room that the owner had opened up. None of the other plumbing was attached to that wall. It was only the toilet. And that toilet would always get clogged. And I didn't find this out until later, but that is actually a sign of a haunting. If you didn't know, toilets always getting clogged because
Ghost poops?
I went to summer camp. And my family was always like blaming me, like, oh my God, Marissa, you're pooping so much, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I'm not. I'm a teenage girl. We don't fucking poop. And so.
First of all, poop does not clog the toilet. It's the toilet paper, or apparently ghost poop.
Yeah.
Poop will not clog your toilet unless your poop is made of cement. And then if that's the case, you need to fucking go to the doctor.
Yeah, exactly. So I was always being blamed for it. And then one day I was at summer camp I had taken some trip. I think I went to summer camp, and then I think I went like maybe to Arizona. We have family in Arizona. So I don't know. I took a very long trip. I was gone for a very long time, like at least a month. And the first thing I did when I came home, I come in my room, get changed, and I go to the bathroom in my bathroom, and the toilet's clogged. And I'm like, what the heck, guys? Like, why are you using my bathroom? Why'd you clog my toilet? And they're like, none of us have used it in a month. Like, nobody's been in there. So that was weird. So we're like, okay, it's just kind of, things are getting weird.
So they can't blame you for the ghost poops because you're like, bitch, I wasn't even here.
Yeah, exactly. So that like confirmed it. So I was like, okay, that's weird. So anyway, kind of hurrying along. So things are escalating. Things are getting kind of weirder. Then one night, and I swear to God, I think it was Halloween actually, my sister-in-law got in this huge fight with her parents, and they were dating. So she stayed with us, but my family's religious, so she slept in my room on the floor. So that night we had been talking, and it's all this drama and stress with her family, and we're trying to figure all this stuff out for her. And then so we all go to bed, and we're all kind of stressed, as we're trying to figure out how to help her. So we go to bed, and every single one of my family has a fucked up dream. So my sister-in-law her head was like on the floor sleeping, right? And she heard my parents screaming and yelling at each other and threatening to kill each other, even though they weren't doing that. It's just a dream. I had a dream where I was laying in my bed looking at a window, and a hand came up under the covers and was choking me. My brother had a dream that somebody had like killed all of us. Like he woke up and was walking through the house and everyone was dead. And then my mom, I don't remember what my mom's dream was, but it was something like a guy with a knife was trying to get her dad or something, because my parents and my grandpa lived on the same, right next to each other. Basically their rooms were near each other. So some guy with a knife was trying to get my grandpa. So just like these very, very vivid, scary dreams. So we all wake up the next day and we have breakfast, and we're sitting on our couch, and we had this old like U-shaped couch. So even if we were all sitting on the couch, we could all see each other because it was U-shaped. So we finally sit down to eat, or we sit down to just talk. And we all start talking about these dreams. We're like, oh, I had a bad dream too, and I had a bad dream that's so scary. And the TV was off, by the way, this is important. TV was off. The remote was literally sitting in front of me. I was sitting down, on the couch talking to my family, and the remote was sitting on the armrest literally right in front of me. So nobody touched it. I saw it. TV was off. And then we start talking about the footsteps. We start talking about the doors slamming, the toilet being clogged, like everything. And my mom's like, oh, this is like, is this like a haunting? Like, what is this? Is it just an old house? Like, what's going on? And when we start,
it's just an old house.
Yeah,
it's just an old house.
But
it's just fine. It's just creaks and
yeah, it's just a creaky house. Yeah. So, but when we finally made the connection, of, is this house haunted, and with all the weird noises? At that precise moment, I swear to God on my life this happened. You can ask every single one of my family members. I just happened to look down at the remote, and I see it just sitting there all alone. No one's touching it. Everything's fine. All of a sudden, the TV comes on. It is playing Ghost Hunters, and the volume is increasing by itself. And we jump out of the couch. We are screaming. My mom is like praying in tongues. Like, we are freaking out. So the
And then you
next
move,
day,
right?
yeah, literally, it gets better. Okay, so the next day, my parents talked to that pastor that was, involved in all this stuff, and they say, "Look, you got to come to our house. We don't know what's going on in our house. It's haunted as fuck." So he comes over and he puts like oil around the house and he says prayers over it and he does this whole thing and puts oil on like every door frame or whatever. He, just all this stuff, and leaves. And the next, so he did that when I was at school, so I wasn't home.
He lubed up your house and left?
That's a thing. Put oil on, it's like a Jewish thing. Anyway, so he leaves the house. I come home from school that day, and I'm like, whoa, like the house feels so different. The doors aren't slamming. There's no open doors. When I looked up and finally some doors were closed, literally no doors had been closed. That night when we went to sleep, there was no footsteps. And when I tell you, like, when leading up to all this happening, it literally sounded like at least 10 people were walking up and down our stairs at every moment of the day, even in broad daylight. Like, it just was so loud, the sound of stairs. And we had all gotten so used to it that we were used to hearing just footsteps on stairs. That was gone. The toilet never clogged again. The Ghost Hunter stuff, we like deleted all the Ghost Hunter stuff. The TV never turned on again. Also, the computer speakers, like I think a couple days later, a week after we did that, my brother just happened to unplug the headphones for some reason. He was like, "Oh, it's not making that noise." They never made a noise ever again. No issues. And so that had been like in 2008 or whatever. And then the fucking housing market crashed. And our landlord was one of those guys. So we lost the house to the bank. So we had to move. So like, it was just like, all right, I guess we're leaving. But that happened literally within, I would say, 3 months of us doing that cleansing. So we were already planning on leaving, even though we had done the cleansing. But once that happened, we're like, oh great, now we don't have to fucking do anything. We can just walk out of this house. We don't have to like do any background or anything. So yeah, that was really funny. So that was the time I lived in a haunted house. And since then, I don't know if I believe in ghosts, but I know that if you start fucking opening up walls or fucking trying to mess with things, you gotta, be prepared for what the fuck's you're opening yourself up to. That's
demon doors.
Yeah, like I think there's some demon shit in there.
But I'm really pumped to hear though, because I feel like Melly's got some fucking weird ass shit about to crawl out of her Georgia walls, and I need to know what they are.
Georgia Gorst. Whoa. Ghost
Georgia
stories.
Gorst?
Georgia Gorst.
Is that like Georgia Gorst stories? I mean, I just feel like Georgia already freaks me out. It's already hot and sticky, and there's because the peaches, and then I feel like also the slaves. So I'm ready.
So to start this preface, my parents are pastors. I was raised in the Pentecostal church, so I've seen some shit.
Is that the church where you don't wear pants?
Yes, I wasn't allowed to wear pants.
Cool.
So I lived in Pennsylvania for a while. Bad idea. Pennsylvania is hella haunted. And
is it?
Oh yes.
Yeah, Philadelphia is haunted. Gettysburg is haunted as fuck.
Yes, Gettysburg I do know. Yes.
Yeah, a lot of Civil War shit went down there again.
That is true.
Unrest. But go ahead, Melly.
The whole South is just fucked. But
fucked in the A.
That's besides the point.
It's made with blood. Blood.
Literally.
Blood is in the ground.
Drown the South in holy water at this point. Start all over.
Ooh.
Yeah.
This girl came into the church one day, and there was something off about her. It went from talking to her to, okay, we need to like have an exorcism on this girl. And I was a child at this point. They sent all the children downstairs so they could like do what they needed to do. I am a nosy little bitch, so I did not go downstairs. I snuck up to the top of the church.
You were that kid in that movie that went to go look at the fucking dead bodies and got his arm touched by La Llorona, weren't you?
Yes, I am that kid. So I watched everything go down, and then since then, I have had unrest in my life. Um, I have seen shit. I have been touched by shit. And then the latest event happened about a year ago. Our roommate passed away in a car accident. And then I started to hear shit in our apartment. And I'm like, okay, well, maybe it's just the apartment. You know, a lot of people have been coming in and out of the apartment. We moved to a different apartment because we weren't going to stay in that fucking apartment. It's haunted at this point. I was home by myself. I was laying in bed. It was daytime, so the lights were off. I didn't need the lights. And our light was a fan light. So, like, it had a ceiling fan on it. I was just chilling there, and then out of fucking nowhere, the fan starts spinning hella fast.
Oh gosh.
And I'm like, hello?
Is it above your is it above your head?
Yeah, it's directly above me.
Ma'am, roll the
Nope.
fuck over and roll out the room. Just keep rolling. Just keep rolling out of the room.
I stayed in there. I took my phone out and I recorded it and I put it on Snapchat.
Are you sure that you're not at least ancestry DNA right, just close to Mayo sapien?
No, I'm
this
pretty
is some shit that happens in horror movies that like you see like let's split up and go look at the noises like, and you see people like usually us, ma'am, walking the other direction, but you decide to go listen to the noise instead.
Oh well, no one ever believes me, so I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna videotape this shit, and I have it on film. I recorded it. I sent it to my boyfriend and my best friend, and I'm like, look at this shit. And they're like, well, the light's probably on. So I'm like, okay, I'll prove it to you. I took another video of it still spinning. The light switches were off. And they're like, maybe you should leave the house. I'm like, no, I'm going to stay here. I saved the video for a later time, and then it stopped. And that's it. I went back to my phone to pull up the video because I wanted to, like, post it on Instagram. Like, look, I'm being haunted. I couldn't find it. The video's gone.
Fucking ghosts, though. Like, why are they like that?
How did they get your password?
I don't know, but I swear to whatever God is out there, I saved that fucking video twice.
What?
And then if you scroll on my Snapchat, you can see the video, like the icon of it. But when you click on it, it takes you to a different picture.
Oh.
And I'm like, no, this is the video. I see it. There's the fan, the hall, and everything. And I click on it, and it's not the video.
Oh no, it's dark time outside right now, and that is terrifying.
Is
you know what I don't need in my life? Spinny fans come down and chop off my neck. I already have enough irrational fears. I have a lot of irrational fears, and that has now become one of them. Thanks.
You're welcome.
I'm really glad
I'm just
there's
also
no spinny fan.
super concerned that you were just like, I'm just gonna lay here because it's fine, everything's fine, nothing hurts.
It's not the first time this has happened to me. Like, I've been in, like, I was at home not too long ago, and then I swear to God, I saw a man walk into the room out of the corner of my eye, and I thought it was like either my dog or my boyfriend. So I called out to them. I'm like, babe, no reply. Peanut? Obviously, he didn't reply. He's a fucking dog.
He's like, yes.
Oh my god, what if he did though?
I fucking cry.
Throw him in the trash. It's over.
But I walk into the room and Peanut is not in the room. And I'm like, oh hell no. I walk out and then my boyfriend gets home because apparently he wasn't fucking home. And I'm like, a man just walked into a room. I swear to God, I saw him with my 2 eyes. And he's like, Melissa, you're blind. Did you have your glasses on? I'm like, no, that's besides the point. I never have my glasses on. I saw it. I swear. But he doesn't believe me, which is why I have to, like, stay and record shit, because no one believes me.
I mean,
then ghost believe your shit then.
Have you seen Paranormal Activity? Remember how she was like, you don't believe me? Wait, let me record it. And then they all got haunted by the ghosts, the chicken feet. Do you remember this?
Oh, fuck, yeah.
See, sometimes sometimes it's just okay to not be believed and just let it alone. Just go to the guy that practices Santeria if you so choose, and have him just smudge you real
Well,
quick, like, and
it's been a
pass over your
while
body with the egg.
since something has happened. I've never
Is it
talked
just
about
biding
it
its
on
time?
the pod. No, I think it's my daughter. Like, you guys know, she passed away and
Mhm.
everything. And then ever since that, I haven't had any other experiences.
Oh.
And I feel like a calm over me now. And whenever I do feel some sort of way, I hear an owl.
Oh.
And it's very calming because, her name is related to owls and all of that. And I want to think that it's her protecting me because I've seen
I'm here for it.
shit. And I
You
want
know
to
what?
go with
I am
that.
here for it. I like that. I appreciate that. Makes me feel a lot better. And I feel like, good can trap out the evil. Like, anytime you see those movies and you see like they're about to get overcome by all the demons, and you see like the one like my mom, like in 13 Ghosts. You remember, like,
Oh
if you see 13 Ghosts, and then the
yeah.
mom comes back and she's like, she pulls a Molly Weasley on all the ghosts, and she's like, "Not my family, you bitch," and she takes them out. I feel like that's what's happening. That was so many references put into one analogy.
Yeah, that was
that
intense.
I am very proud of myself for. So
That's amazing, Melanie. Melanie.
No, that's
oh my
really
god, Melly. That is amazing. I like the fact that you hear an owl like that. Oh, that's so cool.
I believe in ghosts. I believe in spirits. I believe that when you die without closure, or with something very, very important, like, that you need to do or you should have done, I feel like you roam until you can either complete that or it just continuously. So
Or someone forces you to cross over.
Correct. That's why I try to be very open and honest with people, and that way I don't. If tomorrow I get hit by a Mack truck, that I know that I don't want to roam. You know what I mean? I'd rather go. So I want to try to complete what I can and do what I can, and like each goodbye that I make, if I know that if it was my last one, I wouldn't feel bad about it.
I think that's such a good way to live. Like, even if you don't believe in ghosts or believe in paranormal stuff, just living your life that you don't want to have any baggage when you pass. You don't want to have any guilt or regrets. You just want to move on to whatever is next. If it's nothing, it's nothing. But just the idea of, I love that concept of just, you know what, I'm just going to be who I am right now. Take me or leave me. You know what I mean? That's such a good perspective.
I mean, I'm already stressed on a daily basis, but I don't need to be stressed as a fucking ghost, you know?
I like that that Mars made it noble, and really it was just completely fucking selfish that I didn't want to be stuck roaming around this bitch for longer than I have to.
She's all like, nah, not you, about me.
I just don't want to be here. Like, I was like, if I'm gone, I'm gone. Like, let me go, man. Let me the fuck go. If I'm still here after the fact, I don't want to watch anybody. I don't want to be here. Like, I've done my part. I've done my duty for God and country. I got to go. Like, let me go, man. Either there's got to be something better, or just sweet, sweet nothingness. Either way it goes, goodbye.
Yeah, that's exactly how I feel. I'm like, it's gotta be fucking better than this. So even if it's nothingness, that's fucking better than the shit we're dealing with. So let's go.
We all just became so pessimistic.
It's Halloween. Time to collapse in on ourselves like a dying star.
Can't.
Holy shit. Well, that was that. I think the end of us should be how we're going to collapse on ourselves as dying stars. No, but really, if you celebrate Halloween, I hope that you are safe. If you are going out in public, wear a fucking mask. Make it part of your costume. It's literally Halloween, where masks are part of costumes. Be any of the masked women from motherfucking Mortal Kombat. They all wear masks.
I was just about to say that.
Look, it's literally built into the costume, guys.
Literally.
Just
mask built in.
No.
Be Freddie.
Just be Freddie.
No.
And just send a lot of pictures to Vanity. And everything will be fine.
I swear to you, if you do that shit, I'm reporting your email or whatever you do as spam. And you are now banned and you're no longer a friend of the podcast. I will rage.
And you can do that too, because you have control of our email.
I do. The emails go directly to me. I will ban you.
Lord Vanity here.
You can send them on Instagram. I won't ban you.
Yeah.
Rude, Melly. Rude.
Oh my god,
Melly's
please
like,
don't
I don't
send it to
care.
Instagram.
Any Jerry Springer final thoughts, guys?
If you hear footsteps on stairs, just leave. Just go. You don't need to be there.
You don't need to be. If your fans start spinning, just fucking go. You
Don't
need to be
record.
there.
Just go.
Just go.
It's gonna go away anyways. The video isn't gonna make it anywhere.
So just go.
It was funny. I was just about to ask, do you have the video? And then you continued with your story. I was like, God damn, I want the video.
I can send you the screenshot of like the video tile, but then I can't click on it. So.
So
And also,
weird.
for the love of all things holy, if you hear somebody weeping and you
Run
don't
away.
know who, just go. You know, you don't need to. You know what? In the
Mind your
immortal words
business.
of everybody, just mind your business. Just mind your business. Unless you directly make this person cry, just mind your business. You don't need to
Even
worry
if
about
you
it.
made them cry, you probably had a good reason for it. Fuck them.
So mind your business. Just go. Go about your business. Shuffle off, and then try again later. No one needs the blistery arm of La Llorona.
And just carry like olive oil with you, because that apparently is a thing.
And eggs.
Boom, boom, boom. And eggs. Boom, boom. So much kitchen utensils. We got this, guys.
We got it. All right, guys. It's been fun. It's our spoopy bonus episode.
'Cause it's spooky season. Spooky. Sorry.
There are no Halloween songs except for like Monster Mash. That's weird.
Oh God, that song.
Hello. You are forgetting the best Halloween song in existence. Spooky, scary skeletons.
Oh my God. I thought you were gonna say,
We love
"This
that
is
song.
Halloween. Everybody make a scene." But you said that
No.
one instead.
Spooky, scary skeletons. Peak Halloween. I love
I
that
tried
song.
to learn the dance and I failed.
I would love a recording of you guys trying to do this dance. All right, well, I have to make dinner because it's 8:40 and I haven't eaten all day. So I'm gonna eat some food, which is how I end all episodes, is me talking about the food I'm
I
going
was
to
gonna
eat.
say,
Because what
you
the
were
fuck?
always eating after the podcast.
What the fuck?
Because she always drinks before. She guys grabs a drink. By the end of it, she needs a food to counterbalance. That's how it works.
It's just very
At
true.
least for bonus.
Either it's coffee or either it's booze. Either way it goes, I'm
Mhm.
drinking while we're doing this. One time there was booze in my coffee because I didn't have to go to work that day.
Ever since I've had to like stay home for classes, that's what I do. 7:30
Boozy
a.m.
coffee?
math class, Jameson in my coffee.
That seems counterproductive, but whatever, go you. All right. Well, I'm gonna go make some food though, and it has been so much fun listening to all your scary ass stories. I'm gonna have to go watch something funny after this so that I don't have nightmares.
That is true.
And if you want to watch, if you have seen La Llorona, they say Llorona in the movie, but then Melly said it's Llorona, so we're
I don't
gonna
know why
go
they
with
say
both.
that, and like that honestly pisses me off.
I'm sorry.
Like I don't have a reason, like a legit reason to be mad, but like I'm mad.
So if you've seen that movie and you have different opinions, or you were like Vanity, you shredded it. It was not as good. It was way better than what you said. Fine, let me know. I don't believe you, but go ahead and let me know. If you have any spoopy stories, or local lore, or cultural stories of the spoops, let us know. How can they do that, guys? How can they let us know? Anyone?
What? I'm sorry. Oh, we are Plum Bobcast on Instagram and at Twitter. Plum Bob Podcast on Reddit. Under the Plum Bob Podcast on Facebook and Tumblr. Under the plumbob.com. And our email is undertheplumbobpodcast@gmail.com.
And if you send any Freddy things, I promise you'll get blocked from that Gmail. Test me. Try a bitch.
I am going to email the podcast.
I'll block you, Melly. I have no shame in my game.
Oh my God,
I'll
I
block
fucking
you and I'll
love
tell you in the
guys.
chat that I blocked you. I have no shame. All right, so if you're playing your game while you're doing this, by the way, get that spooky pack for the pumpkin carving and the trick-or-treating. Save it. Wear a mask, wash your hands.
Stay 6 feet.
What is that, fucking hairspray?
It was my
just thinking
face
that.
spray because like it's kind of like dry because I'm just sitting here. I didn't think you could hear the little.
Yes, it sounds like you're like
It sounds like hairspray or perfume.
Yeah, like you're just like spritzing yourself over there for some love spell from Victoria's Secret.
I'm
Don't
cleansing
worry, that's
myself
what
from
strippers
all of
wear.
this.
You should. I'm going to after this. All right, guys. Be safe, be real, vote, and do your duty for God and country. Now go back to the real
Brava.
world.
Beautiful.
Brava.
Fucking love that. All right, bye guys.
Okay, bye.
Adios.
Bye.